Yes, see this chapter number 5 is special contract. So before discussing this chapter, we should know what and all included under special contract. So under special contract, if you see, first thing comes is contract of indemnity. After that there is a contract of guarantee, then there is a contract of pledge, then there is a contract of agency, and there is a contract of bailment. So there are 5 concepts involved in this particular chapter. So now our first concept is contract of indemnity. So what do you mean by indemnity here? So that we need to discuss. So what do you mean by indemnity? Indemnity means what? Can anyone tell me now? What do you mean by indemnity here? Yes, can you tell me indemnity means what? Indemnity means it is one kind of ability to compensate. So this is the meaning of indemnity. Indemnity means to compensate the other. So obviously in the contract of indemnity there will be two parties. So who are those two parties that we need to see? So first one is indemnifier and second one is indemnified or indemnity holder. So who is an indemnifier that we need to see? So let us take the contract of insurance for that matter. So whether contract of insurance is a contract of indemnity, can you tell me now? Whether contract of insurance is a contract of indemnity? What is your take on this? Whether fire insurance, whether marine insurance, whether life insurance is a contract of indemnity? Can you tell me? So here one more thing, when you can compensate only when there is a loss incurred, when there is an actual loss incurred by the one particular party, let us say aggrieved party. In that case, another party will compensate for such loss. Let us take the example of insurance contract here. And in the case of insurance contract, there is an insurance company, that is one party. Insurance company is a one party. Then there is a insured, that is one more party. Then there is a subject matter on that insurance is taken. So insurance may be of various type, that is either for health insurance, life insurance. So various types of insurance is there, medical insurance, anything. Yes, so there is insurable interest is there under insurance contract. Then there is a subject matter is there, and there is a regular premium payment. So whenever there is a premium payment, it may be either entire full year payment or half yearly, quarterly or monthly payment. In the case it is like EMI, equal monthly installment. Similarly, we have to pay the premium amount. So under insurance contract, what happens? Only when if you suffer any loss, you will get the compensation. So let us take the example of fire insurance. If you have taken the fire insurance to protect your go down, in that case you can claim the fire insurance only when go down catches the fire. Otherwise, you cannot take the cannot claim the fire insurance. Similarly, if you take the life insurance or if you take the term insurance, there is a one more concept called term insurance. So have you heard about this term insurance concept? What do you mean by term insurance now? Can you tell me what do you mean by term insurance? Yes, you have seen the advertisement. You have seen the advertisement in various channels. For per month only 600 or 700 you need to pay. Very less. Here premium payment is very less. Why? Can you tell me? In the case of term insurance, premium payment is very less. What is the reason? Yes. What is the reason? First of all, what do you mean by term insurance? See, under term insurance, you can get the amount only after your lifetime. That means only after your death, your family member will get the amount. That is the meaning of term insurance. Now you know what is our age. We belong to the age group of 18 to 25 years. within this age group, if we take term insurance, in that case what happens? In that case premium payment is very low because our age is very less, isn't it? That is why you need to pay less amount of premium. Now question comes whether insurance contract is a contract of indemnity. Yes. Why? Because here insurance amount you will get only if some uncertainty or some specified event happens. Then only you can claim the insurance amount. So that is the meaning of this one. See this contract of indemnity. The term indemnity refers to an act in which one party promises to compensate the loss suffered by the another person. So there are two party already I have told, one is indemnifier and one more party is known as indemnity holder. So now first one, the person who promises to make the good for the loss is known as indemnifier. In the case of insurance company, who is an indemnifier? The question comes. So in the case of insurance contract, insurance company is the indemnifier. Why? Because insurance company is going to pay the amount. And who is the indemnified? The person who has taken the insurance policy is the indemnified. So that is the meaning of this one. See, this is the person whose loss is to be made good is called indemnity holder or indemnified. So in short, you can say contract of indemnity is a contract of compensation. Very clear. So after knowing the meaning of contract of indemnity, we need to discuss the various essential elements of contract of indemnity. See this first one, if you see here, it depends on contingency which may or may not happen. That means what? Contingency means it depends on some future uncertain event. If that future uncertain event, let us say if you have taken insurance for earthquake, for that matter, one hypothetical example we are taking, you have taken insurance for earthquake. So now earthquake is uncertain, isn't it? So you can get the amount only when that earthquake happens, or else you cannot claim that amount. So that is the meaning of this one. See this. Then second one, essential element, if you see, it must satisfy all the requirement of valid contract. So all the requirement of valid contract means here it has to satisfy all the essential elements of contract. First chapter we have discussed all the essential elements. What are those essential elements that we need to see? So that is first one, there should be plurality of the party, at least there should be two parties. Then there should be there should be an offer, then there should be an acceptance, there should be some kind of consideration, lawful object must be there, there should be a free consent. So everything it should satisfy. That is the meaning of this one. Then third one, if you see, it should be performed only on the happening of an event which must result in the loss to the indemnified. That means if there is no loss, you won't get your compensation amount. Very clear. Only if loss happens, you can claim the amount. Let us take the example of a health insurance for that matter. If we have taken various health insurance schemes are available. Star health insurance policy. If you see, there is one separate policy, that is Star Health Optima policy. So under Star Health Optima policy, what happens? You can conduct a policy for your parents and for one child and two parent you can cover in that policy. So that child should be below the age of 25 years. If that child's age is above 25 years, then that child doesn't come under this particular Star Health Optima policy. So now let us see this. In that case, now health insurance only when you get admitted into the hospital, or if you take any daycare treatment. Daycare treatment means suppose any treatment which requires less than 24 hours. Less than 24 hours, that means same day you are admitted into the hospital and same day you are discharged. Let us say there is a kidney stone treatment. So these are all comes under daycare treatment. So if there is a daycare treatment is there, again see this, only when there is a loss you can get the amount. That is third one. Then fourth one, consideration is must for contract of indemnity. See here, what do you mean by consideration? Here consideration means you are going to pay the premium amount and insurance company is going to give you the benefit. You are going to pay the amount, they are going to give you the benefit. So that is the meaning of this one. Two-way transaction. It cannot be one-way transaction. See, this is about essentials of contract of indemnity. There are 4 points given. Yes. After knowing this, there should be some rights to the indemnity holder. So, what are the rights of indemnity holder or the policy holder? Eligible for all damages for which promise of indemnity applies. That means if you have taken any policy under which there are certain clauses are mentioned. So what and all covered and what and all not covered. So can you give me the example? Have you gone through any policy? You can now share your views now. Have you gone through any policies? So I have gone through various policies, various health policies. So under health insurance policy, what happens? There is a waiting period. So there is a waiting period. What do you mean by waiting period? Soon after you register for that policy, up to 1 month you cannot get any benefit except for accidental claim. If there is an accident, then you can get the benefit, or else you have to wait for 1 month. Then there is a pre-existing disease. One more concept comes, that is pre-existing disease. That means suppose if you are suffering with any disease at the time of taking the insurance policy, in that case usually there is a waiting period of 2 years. You have to wait for 2 years. After that only you are eligible for that existing disease under this health insurance policy. So that is the meaning of pre-existing disease. So there are various clause will be mentioned. Clause is nothing but rules and regulations will be mentioned in that particular policy. That is about right of indemnity holder. In short, you can say indemnity holder or the policy holder is eligible for what and all items mentioned in the contract of indemnity or contract of insurance. Then right of indemnifier. What is the right of indemnifier here? Rights of the indemnifier is as same as that of surety. So here, what do you mean by surety? So there is a separate concept under contract of guarantee. There is a concept of surety. So can you tell me now what do you mean by surety? Yes, can you tell me? Unmute yourself. What do you mean by surety? Yes, comment in the chat box or unmute yourself and tell what do you mean by surety? Yes, surety means what? See, surety is the person who gives guarantee. Surety is the person who gives guarantee on behalf of some other person. So now it is very clear. Surety means the person who gives guarantee on behalf of some other person. So here, if you see, rights are same as of surety means there is two types of liability. One is primary liability and second one more is secondary liability or subsidiary liability. So what do you mean by primary liability? Immediately you are going to make the compensation. What do you mean by secondary liability? Secondary liability means here you are going to make the payment or compensation only when the loss happens. So here we can say see this indemnifier's liability is secondary liability. He is eligible to pay only when loss has incurred to the aggrieved party. So that is the rights of indemnifier. So this is very small concept regarding contract of indemnity. So any doubt regarding this contract of indemnity, you can ask me now. Anything regarding the contract of indemnity? Yes, very small concept. There are two parties and we discussed about the essentials and what are the rights available to the respective parties. Yes. Yes, unmute yourself and tell me now. Any doubt regarding contract of indemnity? Have you understood? See, now let us take the example of marine insurance. Let us take the example of marine insurance. If we take marine insurance for that matter, in that case, there are certain uncertain event. It may happen during the voyage when the ship goes for a voyage or a trip. There may be some uncertain event may happen. So all these uncertain events are covered in that marine insurance policy. That means due to the bad weather, if goods are damaged, that is covered. If a ship collides with rock, or if water comes into the ship, so everything is covered in that particular marine insurance policy. Yes. Any doubt regarding this contract of indemnity? Have you understood this one? I hope this is very clear. Very simple. This is contract of indemnity. Now let us see, after this contract of indemnity, there is a concept of contract of guarantee. Contract of guarantee. See this. Guarantee means what now? Guarantee means an undertaking by a person, that is undertaking by a one person to pay the amount due from another person. Okay, so let us take the example once again, and in the case of contract of guarantee, if you purchase any cell phone, for that matter, if you purchase any cell phone or any item in online, whether they give you guarantee or warranty, can you tell me now? Whether they give you guarantee or whether they give you warranty? Yes, can you tell me? Can you comment in the chat box? If you purchase any item in online, of course they will give you one sheet of one paper, isn't it? So in that, what will be mentioned, whether it is a guarantee or warranty? Yes, tell me. See, Amrita is saying warranty. Yes. See, warranty means you are eligible for only repairs. That means what? Same item you have to use, but you are eligible for repairs. But because of usage, that item become defective. In that case, you are not eligible. But if there is some manufacturing defect, then you are eligible. So that is the meaning of warranty. What do you mean by guarantee? Guarantee means it is a replacement of the item. If that item fails, then you are going to get the new item. That is the meaning of guarantee. But in the case of contract of guarantee, as per the Indian Contract Act of 1872, the meaning of guarantee is the one person who is going to pay on behalf of another person. See this. Now, see, as per the Indian Contract of 1872, a contract of guarantee is a contract to perform or to discharge the liability of third party in the case of his default. So, who is the third party here? So, third party may be anyone. So, in his default, guarantee is going to pay the amount. So, under parties to the contract of guarantee, there are three parties. So basically, there are three parties in the contract of guarantee. First one is surety. First one is surety. Second one is principal debtor. Principal debtor is the second party. Then third party is third one is principal creditor. So there are surety, principal debtor, and principal creditor. So who is the surety? Surety is a person who agrees to pay the amount if someone is making the default in payment. So let us take the example for surety. Now, me, A. So there are two parties, A and B. So A has taken 50 lakh loan from B. So, while taking the loan, C says that if A fails to repay the amount, C will give the guarantee to repay the amount of 50 lakh. In this case, who is the debtor? In this case, who is the debtor? Who is the creditor? And who is the surety? Can you tell me now in this case? Who is the debtor now? A, B, C. Who is the debtor? Yes, can you tell me? Who is the debtor? A is taking the money from B and C is giving the guarantee. So who is the debtor, who is the creditor, who is the surety? Can you tell me? Just comment in the chat box. Very simple this one. Very simple. See, the person who is taking the money, the person who is borrowing the money is known as principal debtor. So in this case, A is debtor. A is the debtor. Then who is B? The person who lends the money. The person who lends the money. So he is the creditor. Then who is C? The person who gives the guarantee is known as surety. So C is our surety. So let us see this example. See, parties to the contract of guarantee. First one is surety. So under surety, we have to see the meaning. The party who gives a guarantee to the creditor on behalf of principal debtor is known as surety. If there is any default in the repayment of debt by principal debtor, it is a duty of the surety to make the repayment to the creditor. That means if debtor fails to pay the amount, then creditor, if debtor fails to pay the amount, then surety is eligible to pay the amount to the creditor. That is the meaning of this one. Yes. Now then there is a second party, principal debtor. Principal debtor is a party on whose behalf guarantee is given by the surety to the creditor. So in short, you can say debtor is a person who has taken the loan amount. He is the person who has to pay or repay the amount borrowed by him to the creditor on the date of maturity with interest. So whenever you are taking the loan, of course there will be interest charged by the creditor. No one gives the loan free of interest, isn't it? So of course there will be some interest will be attached. Let us say if you take 1 lakh, then your interest may be 7 to 8%. So if your term is 1 year, for 1 year you have to pay additional 8% amount. That is, on 1 lakh you have to pay 8%, means 8,000 extra you are going to pay. So along with the principal amount 1 lakh, you are going to pay 8,000 interest. So that is the meaning of this one, principal debtor. Then creditor. Creditor is the person who lends the money to the principal debtor. So now it is very clear, under contract of guarantee there are three parties. Now, after discussing the parties, then we need to discuss essential or legal requirement of contract of guarantee. So, what are those legal requirements? First one, it requires consent from all the three parties for the formation of contract of guarantee. That means without the consent of any of the party, you cannot form the contract of guarantee. How? Let us take the example. You go to the bank, and you want house loan, for that matter, house loan of 50 lakh. Okay, so now bank ask for surety. Who is your surety? So now you will go to some reputed person or person with lot of money, so bank will be assured of repayment, isn't it? So without the consent of surety you cannot form the contract. That means suppose A and B enters into an agreement. A wants 50 lakh from B, and without informing C. C is the surety of A. You to perform the contract, or you to form the contract. That is not possible. Consent of all the parties are required. Then second one, there are two types of liability. That is, first one is primary liability and second one is secondary liability. So what do you mean by primary liability? Primary liability means who is going to pay first. If when there is a three party, who is going to pay first? That is the meaning of this one, primary liability. See this, principal, debtor and creditor enters into an agreement. So of course the debtor is going to borrow the money from the creditor. That means debtor is going to pay first, isn't it? Debtor is going to repay the money first. If debtor fails to repay the money, then only surety is eligible to repay the money. So here what you can say, by this by seeing this, you can say that the liability of a principal debtor is primary and liability of surety is secondary. So this is very clear now. See this, the primary liability of on is on the principal debtor and surety's liability is secondary. It means surety becomes liable to perform its promise only when there is a default in repayment of debt by the principal debtor. Yes, this is the second one. Then third one is contract of guarantee may be oral or in writing. So what do you mean by oral or in writing? Oral means it may be expressive words, or writing means in written form. It may be of any two types, and it should satisfy all the conditions of valid contract. This statement is common for all the contracts, all the subcontract. This statement is common. Fourth one. Yes. So these are the essentials of a contract of guarantee. So have you understood now this contract of guarantees, and who are the parties involved in contract of guarantee? Have you understood now? Yes. Can you tell me? If you have any doubt, you can ask me, unmute yourself or comment in the chat box. Ashish is saying yes. So I hope this concept is clear. Very simple, this concept. Just you need to remember who are the parties involved. That's it. So here, see this. Now we discuss the parties of contract of guarantee. Now next thing comes is kinds or types of guarantee. So what are the types and types or kinds of guarantees are there? First one is simple or specific guarantee. So when a guarantee is available only for a single or specific transaction of debt, what example you can give? Simple guarantee means only for one transaction. So let us take the example here. Example of taking the loan from bank here. Example of taking the loan from bank, and A is going to take the loan amount worth 50 lakh from bank, and bank is referred as B here, and C is a surety. In this case, this is a simple guarantee only for one transaction. So now let us see the next one, continuing guarantee. What do you mean by continuing guarantee? More than one transaction. When a guarantee extends to series of a transaction, however, continuing guarantee comes to an end when revocation notice is given by the surety. What do you mean by revocation notice? Can you tell me now? What do you mean by revocation? This one we have discussed. The meaning of revocation. What do you mean by this? Can you tell me? What do you mean by revocation? What is the meaning of revocation? Just comment in the chat box. What is the meaning of revocation? See, in one word, in one way you can say revocation means taking back, or it is some kind of cancellation. It is here in this context, revocation means a taking back. Guarantee can be taken back by giving the notice by the surety. So here continuing guarantee, what example you can give? So let us see the same example. A is going to take the loan of 50 lakh from the bank, and here C says that he gives the guarantee for 25 lakh. He gives the guarantee for 25 lakh amount. That means here what happens? Only up to the 25 lakh amount surety is liable. So or else one more thing you can do here, that is the debtor, principal debtor is going to take multiple loans of the bank, and here surety says that he gives the guarantee for whatever the loan, n number of loans taken by the principal debtor. So in that case, this becomes a continuing guarantee. First he has taken 50 lakh loan, then he has taken 25 lakh loan, then he has taken 10 lakh loan. So total amount of loan is 85 lakh loan. 85 lakh is the total amount of loan, and for this 85 lakh, guarantees will be given by the surety. So this is the case of continuing guarantee. So there are two types of guarantee, simple and continuing guarantee. After this, we need to see rights of surety. What are the rights available to surety, that we need to discuss? So see this, rights of surety. First one, right against creditor. So here creditor, you know, the person who has given the money is known as a creditor, or person who has lent the money known as a creditor. So right against creditor, what and all he can do? First one, before under rights against creditor, first one is before the payment of guaranteed debt. That means surety can ask the creditor to sue the debtor. Why surety can ask the creditor to sue the debtor? Can you tell me why surety does like that? Because in case debtor fails to pay the money, then who is liable? Surety is liable. That is why surety is worried about principal debtor's solvency position. So, what do you mean by solvency position? Solvency position means here ability of a debtor to pay the money on time or in time. See this, suppose you have taken the loan for the period of 3 months. That means you have to return the loan within that period on or before that period. And if you return the loan after 6 months, in that case there is a delay in repaying the loan. In that case surety is liable. That is why surety may ask the creditor before the due date itself, just to ask with his debtor that to give the money back. So that is the meaning of this one. Say this. That is the first one. And second one, at the time of payment of guaranteed debt. So what do you mean by this? When the surety makes the payment to the creditor on the default made by the principal debtor, surety gets the following right. So what do you mean by this? So see this, in short you can say, when at the time when surety makes the payment to the creditor, surety becomes the creditor. That means all the rights of the creditors are merged with the rights of the surety. Or else you can say surety's rights gets cancelled and now surety is having the rights of creditor. Why? Because now he has made the payment to the creditor. Now principal debtor is eligible to make the payment to surety. Why? Because surety has made the payment, isn't it? So that is the meaning of this one. So under this there are various things are there. So first one is a right of set off. So what do you mean by right of set off? Set off means one kind of cancellation. So there are two-way transaction. In that case you can combine those two transactions, or you can cancel those two transactions. Let us take the example. See this example is given. P owed 8 lakh to C. So what do you mean by this? P is going to pay 8 lakh to C because that is a due amount. P has taken some loan from C, so 8 lakh is due, to which S stood as a surety. So S is our surety. C means a creditor. P means a principal debtor. Now this is very clear. In an earlier transaction, C owed 3 lakh to P. So there is a subsequent or simultaneous transaction here. So first transaction, debtor is having due amount, or debtor is going to pay the due amount to the creditor. This is our first transaction. What is our second transaction? Second transaction is creditor is having due amount. That means creditor is going to pay the amount to the debtor. That means before the first transaction, the creditor has taken some amount from debtor. So that is the meaning of this one. In that case, we can cancel off such a transaction. See this, here P committed the default. That means principal debtor committed the default in the repayment of 8 lakh to C. In that case, S is liable to pay only 5 lakh. Why? Because of a two-way transaction. Here you can set off 3 lakh. Why? See this, 8 lakh minus 3 lakh. See this, here first he borrowed 8 lakh, then C owed 3 lakh. Then surety is liable to pay only 5 lakh. 8 minus 3, 5 lakh. Yes, that is the meaning of this one. In this example, S is liable to pay only 5 lakh to C, as he has a right to set off 3 lakhs due from C to P. That means due amount from creditor to principal debtor he can set off with the first transaction amount. That is the meaning of right of set off. Yes. After this, right to claim security. Second one comes right to claim security. See this, once the payment is done by the surety, creditor has to give all the security which he had held against the principal debtor. So what do you mean by the security here? Here security means it may be any type of a document. Either it is a valuable document. Let us take the example of gold. In order to give the loan, the person creator may ask some safety, isn't it? Some security as safety. In case if you fail to give the loan or repay the loan, in that case he can sell that, isn't it? So that is why he may ask gold as a security, or he may ask property document as a security. So these are the things. So when the surety pays the amount, all the document must be handed over to the surety by the creditor. So that is the meaning of second one. Third one is right of subrogation. So what do you mean by subrogation? Subrogation means it is one kind of substitution. Subrogation is equal to substitution, substituting the one person from in the place of another person. See this. In other words, surety becomes the creditor and he is entitled to recover the amount from the debtor. That I have told. As soon as surety make the payment, all the rights of creditor will come to the surety. That is the meaning of this one. Right of subrogation. Then fourth one is the right to demand termination of service. What do you mean by termination of service? There is guarantee is given on the basis of good conduct or trustworthiness of employee. What do you mean by this? Fidelity guarantee. That means here you are saying that this person is trustworthy. Suppose one person is going for one job for appointment. For appointment, he had applied for one job, and you are the surety, and now you are saying with the employer who is going to hire that person, that person is of good nature, he is very trustworthy, he is loyal, he is punctual, he is on time, like that you are saying. So after this, after the statement given by the surety, if that person does any act, adverse act, in that case surety can cancel the contract. Yes, that is the meaning of this one. See this example. He has been appointed as a cashier in the firm of C. Okay, here P is a principal debtor, C is a creditor. On the recommendation given by S, S is a surety. There is in bracket they have mentioned guarantee to the extent of 5 lakh. So 5 lakh guarantee is given that he is very trustworthy person. Now, after joining to that particular job, what debtor will do or what he will do, he commits a fraud by misappropriating 1 lakh. So he may commit some illegal transaction. 1 lakh. In that case, S is responsible for only 1 lakh. Why? He said that up to 5 lakh, I will give the guarantee. So 1 lakh is covered in that 5 lakh, isn't it? Yes. Now S has to pay the 1 lakh to C, that is creditor, and has a every right to inform C. Now what S will do after making the payment? Now S will ask with the creditor just to take him or throw him out of his job. Why? Because he has betrayed whatever the statement given by the surety, isn't it? See this. He has every right to inform C to remove P from the post of cashier. That is the meaning of right to demand termination of a service. So that is the rights of a surety against creditor. Yes. Any doubt regarding this one? Rights against creditor. Rights of surety against creditor. Yes. Any doubt you can ask? Any doubt regarding this one? Surety's rights against creditor. Similarly, there is a surety's rights against debtor is there. Various other things are there. Any doubt in this? Akam, Shamrita, Anusha, Ashish, Kushal, Pooja, Shifali. Any doubt in this? Ashish is saying no. Akamsha is saying no. I hope this concept is clear. Yes, Kushal is also saying no. So now we'll take a break.